Technically, the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, could start the seizure of Trump properties after Monday, March 25th, unless Trump has posted an appeal bond. Trump and his controlled entities can appeal the verdict in the New York civil fraud case even without posting a bond, but posting the bond prevents New York from executing on the judgment pending resolution of the appeals. I doubt that the New York Attorney General will start seizing and selling assets before the Appellate Court acts on Trump's motion to substantially lower the bond amount or stay the enforcement of the judgment without posting a bond. Trump has offered to post a $100 million bond. So far, New York has filed the judgment in Westchester County, where Trump has two properties, and in New York City, but that is only the first step in the collection process. My understanding is that the filing of the judgment in New York creates a judgment lien on all debtor properties owned in that county where the judgment is filed, which by itself only prevents the sale of the property without satisfying the lien amount. To execute on the lien requires the judgment creditor to issue an execution to the sheriff to levy and sell the real estate. There could be fights about that process, which might include, for example, the legal complexities that Trump has created in the ownership structure of the properties. In their motion to the appellate court requesting relief on posting a bond, the Trump's lawyers claim that they were unable to convince any single insurance company, to guarantee full payment, and that Trump would be required to sell properties at a fire sale to come up with the necessary bond amount. I interpreted those claims made by Trump's lawyers in the pleadings filed with the motion, which I have read, that Trump did not have funds available to fund a cash bond, or at least left me with that implication. Yesterday, Trump stated in a comment posted on Truth Social that he had almost $500 million in cash, but wanted to spend a substantial amount of that cash on his own campaign. This claim undercuts the representations made by his lawyers in pleadings filed with the appellate court. Trump's lawyers filed two affidavits in support of the motion. One was by the general counsel of the Trump organization, and the other was by Guy Giulietti, I may have mispronounced that, who took the primary lead in attempting to secure a surety bond from an insurance company, and who identified himself in his affidavit as being employed by a private insurance brokerage company. I found both affidavits to be insufficient on Trump's ability to post a cash bond. A partial cash bond supported by multiple sureties and/or an irrevocable letter of credit issued by a financial institution who would, unlike most insurance companies, be willing to take real estate as collateral. There was no affidavit from Trump or the CFO of the Trump organization or any other operating officer of the Trump organization with knowledge of the cash available to satisfy the bond amount. The affidavits were silent on how much Trump had in cash. There was a statement made by Giulietti at paragraph 17 in his affidavit that Trump had ample liquidity, but not $1 billion. And that's not the bond amount. I found that to be evasive on whether he had sufficient cash to meet the bond amount. The impression created by his lawyers was that there was insufficient cash to meet the bond amount. Trump did not spend any of his own money on the 2020 election that he lost to Biden, as I recall. In 2016, he did spend $66.1 million of his own money. $50 million of that amount was in the form of a loan by Trump to his campaign, which was forgiven by him after he won the election, according to several reports that I've read. The claim that Trump wanted to spend his own money on the 2024 campaign, or substantially the $500 million in cash that he claimed to have, was the first time that he suggested the possibility that he was going to use his own money in the campaign. I rate it as unbelievable and a politically motivated one, since Trump wants to convince voters that the bond is just another election interference effort made by Democrats. Trump has already made it crystal clear that he will not accept an election defeat in November, and he's just only getting started enunciating the reasons why he will not accept a defeat.